Hey there everyone, welcome to Brain Change Kids. If you're a mom, dad, or grandparent feeling completely overwhelmed by a child with severe hyperactivity, this video is for you. You know the type, those little ones who are always on the go, buzzing around like they're powered by a race car engine and never seem to slow down. But guess what? We're here to help. At Brain Change Kids, we're going to teach you how to transform that non-stop energy into calm, focus, and peace. Imagine, no more dreaded phone calls from school or stressful moments in public because of outbursts. So get ready. Let's dive into this short video where a mom, who once felt just like you, shares her success story. Trust me, if she can do it, so can you. Enjoy, and I'll see you right after the video.
As our son grew older, he started exhibiting behavior problems. We thought they were just part of normal development. Hyperactivity, lack of focus, impulsiveness, emotional outbursts. We thought it was a phase he was going through, something that he would grow out of. But it became apparent that this was not the case. When our son was in second grade, he had problems concentrating on his homework. One day, I asked him if he could just please sit still and concentrate. He said, "I can't concentrate, Mum. My brain buzzes." I was stunned. His brain buzzed? I have a PhD in cognitive neuroscience. If I had learned anything in graduate school, it was that brains aren't supposed to buzz. I started researching books, published research articles, and anecdotal stories. I found that red number 40 could cause hyperactivity in some children. It made them hyper, fidgety, and impulsive. One personal anecdotal story even mentioned how her 15-year-old daughter complained of brain buzzing. So, we removed the red number 40 from his diet, and within a couple of days, the brain buzzing stopped. But we let him continue to consume foods with other dyes like yellow number 5 and number 6. That would prove to have been a huge mistake. Within a few months, he started becoming agitated and emotional. He started having emotional breakdowns and throw temper tantrums over minor things like putting clothes away or turning off the television. We didn't think it was a major problem until the meltdowns became more frequent. Their occurrence went from once a week to several times a day. They also became more intense, from crying to hitting and self-hurting behaviors like scratching. Then, he became suicidal. Yes, our son was suicidal at age 7. It had been a long day. Our 7-year-old was sitting in front of the television, unwinding, when I asked him to turn off the TV because it was time for dinner. Instead of turning the TV off, he started to become upset. He began to cry and to pull at his clothes, and then he began to scream. I told him this was unacceptable behavior and sent him to his room. Once he got to his room, he started throwing things, screaming, becoming extremely emotional and aggressive. I went in to talk to him, and he started hitting me and crying uncontrollably. I asked him why he was so upset. He kept saying, "I don't know, I don't know." Through the tears and the sobs, he looked up at me and begged, "Mom, just give me a knife so I can kill myself. I just want to die." I just sat there holding him, trying to console him. Honestly, I did not know what to do. My heart would break every time he got like this. I wish I could say that this was the first time I had heard him beg for me to let him kill himself. It wasn't. Looking back, my husband and I can't count how many times he got so upset and then pleaded to be able to end his own life. We didn't know what was going on, but I knew I had to figure it out. That night I went back to looking for answers, searching and researching. I found an article that suggested that some children became agitated after ingesting yellow number 5 and number 6. I made the decision to remove all artificial food dyes from our home in an attempt to see if that would help reduce some of the emotional reactivity. I went from cupboard to cupboard and read every ingredient in everything we had. I was surprised at just how many things contained artificial food dyes. Red, blue, and green are nearly obvious in the foods that they colour. We know there are no blue raspberries. Bright red food doesn't exist unless they are fresh fruits or vegetables. Electric green isn't even found in edible nature. But yellow dyes are different. They are used to make foods look more normal. They are placed in things that aren't even yellow, like sauces, pickles, breakfast cereals, condiments, meat marinades, and the list goes on. To this day, yellow seems to be the most difficult to avoid.
Mom, why can't I have my favorite cereal anymore?
Because it has those artificial dyes in it, honey. We're trying to see if avoiding them will help you feel better. After I cleaned out the house, I went and bought food that didn't contain artificial food dyes. It took a while at the store. I read a lot of labels, but I found many of the items that contained artificial dyes had competing brands that did not contain artificial colours. I restocked our house, and our dye-free living began. Amazingly, it only took 2 weeks for the negative behaviours, like the aggression, combativeness, and excessive emotionality, to go away. However, it took 6 months before he felt like himself again. Thankfully, he has never again felt like he wanted to kill himself. I was astonished that artificial food dyes could change and affect my child's mind and body so strongly. It was hard for me to believe that an artificial dye could do this to him. But over the years, he's accidentally ingested artificial dyes, and those behaviours come back. Time and again, he unknowingly eats something with yellow number 5 or 6. And within 4 hours, he becomes moody, irritable, combative, argumentative, and extremely agitated and emotional. We're often confused by his behaviour because neither he nor we knew he ingested food containing artificial dye. He is extremely cautious and reads every label in order to avoid ingesting artificial dyes, but not all foods contain labels. For example, he went to a local fast food restaurant with Grandma and had 2 cheeseburgers. We didn't think to check the cheese for yellow food colouring. Within a few hours, he was combative and agitated. He even became extremely angry with me for making him stop vacuuming so we could go to the store. What kid gets mad at having to stop vacuuming? It wasn't until the next day when I started backtracking in order to figure out what he had eaten the day before. I called the restaurant and found out that their cheese does in fact contain yellow number 5 and 6. Time and again, when he acts out of the ordinary, we can trace it back to an accidental ingestion of artificial food dyes. I like to refer to those times as our own double-blind research trials.
Yes, I remember that day. We were all so puzzled by his sudden change in behavior.
I just didn't understand why I felt that way. It was really tough.
Interestingly, one thing we have learned over the last 4 years is that he doesn't react the same to each artificial food dye. Different artificial dyes correspond to different behaviours and behavioural disorders. Red dyes make him hyper, fidgety, impulsive, and cause brain buzzing. He acts like he has ADHD. Green makes him manic, like he has bipolar disorder. Yellow causes agitation, aggression, defiance, excessive emotionality, emotional meltdowns, and suicidal thoughts. I want to remind you that not all kids have this type of reaction to artificial food dyes, but for those that do, it can be devastating. These kids do not know that they are having a reaction to dyes, and this makes life very difficult for them. They keep eating the very thing that is causing the problem. Many are even put on medications to control the behaviours. Ironically, most of the medications they are put on contain artificial dyes. There is an easy way to check and see if a child is having a reaction to artificial food dyes. Remove all food that contains artificial dyes or colors from their diet for 4 weeks. Just 4 weeks. You will even know within 5 to 7 days if their behaviors are due to the ingestion of artificial food dyes. If they are food dye intolerant, then without the dyes in their diet, their behaviors will change.
Hey, we're back! Wow, that video was amazing, right? Just imagine, that could be your child. And here's the wild part. That was just one additive causing hyperactivity. There are so many other sneaky ingredients that lead to impulsive behaviors, but don't worry, we've got you covered. So if you're a stressed out mom, dad, or grandparent looking for that calm, focused child, and who isn't, click the link below and schedule a tour with Brain Change Kids. We've got a super easy, step-by-step plan that's going to transform your child from hyperactive to calm in less than 4 weeks. And guess what? It's fun. We're going to make this an exciting journey, and watching your child become that normal, well-behaved kid is going to be the best thing ever. So let's chat. Don't forget to hit that link below. Thanks for watching and enjoy your blessings. Talk to you soon.